Morning, Saints. This is Ruben Israel, trying to giving you a little bit of my 2 cents on what's going on with the coronavirus. As you know, they're shutting down everything. We're here in Savannah, and it's pretty much, they've got bodies out here, but not what they were expecting. So today we're going to be heading out to Daytona Beach. But, you know, things have shut down, man. Events have shut down. Sodomite Parade are now starting to shut down. The one that we were going to do in Phoenix has actually been shut down. So this scare has really caused a lot of issues with people. But we're looking at this event, maybe not necessarily as a preach event, but it's more like a reunion. Guys I haven't seen and preached with in maybe 3 years are coming around, and we're working together. So what a blessing. That within itself is worth the trip. But I'd like to share a little bit about my 2 cents on what to do, and just some very practical things for you Christians, and I'm addressing you men. You know, we live in a society where everything is last days. I got it. I've been hearing last days since I got saved in the 80s. Last days this, last days that. And so, you know, Trump shoots a missile over into a Muslim country, one missile, and World War III is getting started. Guys, I understand the concept, but nowhere in our Bible does it mention when Walmart and Costco runs out of toilet paper, that's the official time for last days. You've gone too far. I do understand the flu kills more people than this virus. And God bless these men and their wives that have us come out here to preach at this. I mean, you know, my wife was a little concerned, me getting on a plane, inhaling the same air everybody else is, and we're in a capsule, not much we can do. Not a problem. Okay, I do trust in God. And this reminds me a little bit of what happened in the 80s. In case some of you weren't born or didn't know what was going on, you had the AIDS virus. And they didn't know how it was going to be contracted. Was it airborne? Is it in the blood? A mosquito can bite a sodomite and then bite you, and you'd have AIDS. You've had other people in lab coats tell you if somebody who has AIDS drinks out of a container and it's not washed properly, and you drink out of that same container in a restaurant, you're going to have AIDS. It was a big scare, and this reminds me a little bit of that. I say these things come and go. That's not the reason why I'd like to speak to you, okay? Trust me, I can speak hours just on that alone. What I'd like to do is, how prepared are you, Christian? You know, the Bible says if you don't provide for your own, you're worse than an infidel. That's Bible. I think when a disaster happens and everybody rushes to a Walmart and cleans that out, even people that speak against Target don't mind going to Target to get their water and whatever else they need. You should already have that stuff, okay? That stuff should already be in storage. You need to be wise. If you're going to prepare yourself to meet God, you better prepare yourself for calamities in this country. Some of you live in an area where you can get a hurricane. Some of you might have floods. Some of you can live in Tornado Alley. I'm from Los Angeles. We have earthquakes. We don't have the luxury of seeing it coming and being notified and running to a store and getting that stuff. We actually keep a supply of stuff for that reason. Okay, I do understand. I'm not saying it's last days or you're gonna build up an arsenal to fight our government. That's not the purpose. It's just for a calamity, for something that happens, that you have food and water at your home. Not even a calamity. I'm from Los Angeles. You remember the Rodney King riot? Man, that caused a city to get burnt. Police weren't going anywhere. And so it doesn't even have to be a calamity from weather or an earthquake or a fire. But you need to actually have things done. You need to have water. You can use a 55-gallon bucket of water, pour a little bleach every once in a while, and it'll be preserved. What you want to do is just stock up on something simple, inexpensive. Crackers and peanut butter have an incredible shelf life that'll last you for quite some time. You know, if you're on medication, have a little baggage where you have medication. I would actually encourage you to have a weapon. I own guns. I'm not a felon. I vote. I exercise free speech. It's my right as a citizen. And again, this is not to combat the police department or the military. There are people that believe in that and live in bunkers. I'm just simply saying, for a calamity, something like this, where people go to the store and you can't even get anything because it's gone and you weren't prepared. We have in our Bible a story of the 10 virgins. 10 virgins who went out to go meet the groom. 5 of them had oil. The other 5 did not have oil. And I don't know if you noticed, the ones with the oil didn't share their oil. And so if you think you're going to come to my house and I'm going to give you all that I've been stocking up, you're going to know the parable of those virgins. You didn't do it. Unless you're so spiritual, you want to be an Elijah and you're going to find some widow that's going to feed you. I'm saying, guys, especially you men, you need to take advantage of this and prepare. You buy insurance, you buy a house, you buy auto insurance, car insurance, life insurance, health insurance. You got all this stuff, but when the calamity comes, you don't even have a battery in the house. You don't even have a flashlight that works. Try to take some time and put these things aside. If you have old shoes, instead of throwing them away, put them in that bag that can last you for quite some time. Don't throw them away. An old jacket. There's simple things that you can do. Change your clothes. You might even want something inside the trunk of your car, a little bag, in case something happens. It may take you 2 days to get home. I have a lot of things, but I've been stocking up for a lot of things, not because I believe that I'm going to be living in a cave and it's the last days. Trust me, that's not where I'm going. Living in Los Angeles, just a court verdict, man, the entire city's in flames. That ought to get a person ready. And so we live in America, and you need to take advantage of living in America. We're going to have viruses like this come and go. Google it. It's been happening for quite some time. This one just seems to be the current event, and it's clearing everything out. Like I said, toilet paper is not found here. Don't try to put every current event in the last days. I'm not one of these spiritual type guys. I'm just a regular meat and potato man of God. And so I say, stock up. Get things prepared. I resent the day I have to pop those things open, but that's what I do. I have enough food to last me for about 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks without cooking. After about 3 weeks, if I need to, then I'll cook. The last thing you want to do is start cooking. You're going to bring everybody over to your house. So there's some common sense behind this stuff. Just like when we go out and preach, where there's common sense. There's things that are thought up that we go out and do, and it's done properly. And so the Bible says, if you don't provide for your own, you're worse than an infidel. I mean, it can be pretty difficult when you can't even have a flashlight that works because you didn't do your job. You didn't store up. You didn't get ready and prepare for this stuff. So I'm not talking about prophecy and Revelation and the book of Daniel. I'm just simply giving you some basic things. After this virus is over, there's going to be another one, or some other plague, or some other thing going on, or fires, or who knows what. But are you prepared? That's my main goal. Are you prepared? We can't tell the heathen to be prepared to meet God, and our home is chaotic. So I address that to you men. For heaven's sake, get on it. Unless you're so spiritual and you think God's going to feed you, like I said, like Elijah, well, good luck. Good luck. Do understand, I've met people that lived through Katrina. People aren't praying and asking God, lead us, Lord. When you get into that type of environment, they're killing each other. And that's where your gun is going to come into play. Some of you might have issues with guns. I understand that. there's an argument on having guns. There's Bible verses that I can put up for having guns, let alone just living in America. I'm not going to try to convince you to own a weapon if you believe you should not. And the reason is because maybe you might have a bad temper, or your wife might have a bad temper. Maybe it's good that you not have a gun in the house that you live in, so I'm not going to try to convince you otherwise. As far as me, that gun is great. It's a home protector, and what a fantastic friend. I don't have to walk it, I don't have to feed it, I don't have to take it to the vet. It's perfect. It's supposed to do its job if ever I need it. But that gun is there, and I dread the day I have to use it, much like I dread the day I have to use my fire insurance on my home. Nevertheless, it's there for a particular reason. So that's my 2 cents during this coronavirus. This is not last days, people. Inhale, exhale, relax. There's going to be a lot more after this. Government has not turned Walmarts into camps, and blue helmets are going to come and haul you and your kids away into some bunker of someplace. It's not going to happen. Not at least with this. So just relax, and if you're a street preacher, you better not let this hinder you from going out in the streets. The Bible says God's not given us the spirit of fear. That doesn't mean we shouldn't fear God. That means you shouldn't fear coming out here and getting some virus. God didn't give us a spirit of fear. We're actually going out there and confronting the sin just like it was an everyday occurrence on a park. And if you don't want to, because you believe that's too much and you'd be testing God, I say you need to reconsider and get out there and preach. That shouldn't hinder us at all. So that's my tip for you, my 2 cents from you. And since we have good President Trump in, it's not 2 cents. That's my 25 cents to you. Keep the change. God bless you.